Okay, so hello everybody. My name is Grace and I'm here to tell you about Brian and I's love story. Not too long ago, Brian just told his side and I haven't watched it, so I'm a little nervous. But whatever he says is either a lie or halfway truth. So we'll see. Let's see. We're gonna start with 2006. Jacksonville, Florida East Stakes Joseph Smith musical. That was when I first noticed Brian, and that was when he fell in love with me. It was love at first sight. I know. And I thought he was a stuck-up guy, so I didn't really want to give him any other reason to have a bigger head or a bigger ego, so I just ignored him. And fast forward to Institute days. One night he came up to me and asked me on a date. It was like a movie scene. The guy and the girl across the room eventually meet, and yeah, so he asked me on a date and I said yes, as calmly as I could, but deep inside of me I was giddy as a little girl. The day of our date, I canceled on him like when he was 5 minutes away. We were supposed to go on a date with James Swartz and Ray Taylor. So, and then from then on, I never really heard from him. And we went on with our lives. I went to BYU, Idaho, and he went on his mission to Oregon. And in summer of 2008, I was rooming with Bonnie Burke, and I had Brian's address that James had given me, and Spencer told me that Brian had went on a mission, and I just had this strong feeling to write him. And so I did, and I was so nervous that he wouldn't write back because, I mean, I'm the girl who just canceled on him and never gone on a date. We only spoke like a sentence to each other. And yeah, and thankfully he wrote back, and his letters were like the highlight of my day in college. But yeah, and so we wrote for the next 2 years without any plans of waiting for him or dating each other. And my last semester of BYU, Idaho, I had this feeling that I needed to go pursue my education here in Florida. And so I went back, and as coincidentally, or whatever, I don't think it's a coincidence, but Brian came back from his mission at that time too. And so we met up. He came back to Florida. I picked him up from McClure's Beach. We picked my dad's cake, went to Firehouse Subs, which is one of our favorite restaurants. I invited him to go to a Filipino gathering where he met my family and the rest of the Filipino clan. And we had our first kiss in one day. And since then, I don't remember. I just remember being with Brian practically every day and not feeling like I was sick of hanging out with him. I've enjoyed every little bit of Brian. but yeah, so let's see, fast forward to engagement day. It was Thanksgiving of 2010. We were in Tennessee with his family. And the day of their engagement, we were trying to figure out whether to go ice skating or to go on a hike, and we decided to go on a hike. I invited everyone, and luckily they said no because I didn't know that that was the day that Brian was going to propose. On our way up to the top, I wanted to give up because I was like out of shape or it was too cold or something. But every time I would put my hand in his pockets, I didn't notice it, but now I know. He would always like hold my hand, and I thought, oh, he just wanted to hold my hand, but in reality the ring was inside his pocket, but I had no idea. Like, he gave me every reason to believe that we weren't going to get engaged anytime soon. But yeah, so we got on the top, and when we were about to leave, Brian said, "Have you taken a picture of the sun?" I said no, so I turned around and took a picture of it, and I got really excited. When I turned around to show it to him, he was gone, and I found him on his knees and giving me, or asking me to marry him. And I said, I was surprised. I said, no way. And I screamed on top of my lungs, I'm gonna be Mrs. Simpson. And then the wolf started howling, the deer started coming out, and I just couldn't take the smile off my face, and he couldn't either. And we weren't supposed to tell anybody, but when we got home, the first person I saw was Tyler, his brother, and I went like this to him. And so Tyler was the first person to know that we were engaged. And then we had dinner with his family. His mom went, my mom went, but my dad was really happy. Both of our dads were happy, but both families were very supportive, and we thank them for all the love and support, especially the Benions for taking care of us. And now they live happily ever after. I believe that's the story, and I've recorded this on time, finally. But yeah, now I don't know what to say because I have all this time. Brian is an amazing guy, and I'm very excited to marry him. Marry him. I'm gonna be Mrs. Simpson! Okay, now I'm just being a dork. I gotta shut this off.